Welcome to This Explainer. You know, if you've been eating perfectly fine but still feel like your body just flat out refuses to cooperate, you're definitely going to want to pay close attention to this one. Today, we're diving into some truly fascinating research on what actually happens when you give your system a break from constant digestion, specifically looking at the profound effects of daily fasting. We're going to decode exactly why your body might be trapped in storage mode, and more importantly, how to activate its built-in repair systems.
If you're in your 40s or 50s and you're feeling chronically fatigued, or maybe dealing with that really stubborn belly fat, I want you to ask yourself, is your metabolism actually broken, or is it just trapped in the wrong mode? Because the answer to that is going to completely shift your paradigm. See, a lot of us think that if we just eat less, our bodies will automatically start burning fat. But biologically, our bodies are designed to run on two totally different energy sources: glucose from the food we eat and our stored body fat. So the real problem isn't that your metabolism is broken or that you're just getting older. It's that your body is literally locked into the wrong energy mode. And honestly, it probably hasn't been allowed to switch over to fat burning for years.
So here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover the real energy problem, the internal fasting timeline, the amazing metabolic switch, the cellular and gut deep cleanse, aging and breakfast myths, and we'll wrap it up with 3 steps to reset your metabolism.
Let's jump into Section 1, the real energy problem. And spoiler alert, the villain here isn't just sugar or carbs. It's actually something much more subtle. Think of the hormone insulin as a busy, super strict warehouse manager. Every single time your blood sugar goes up, insulin gets released. Its one and only job is to take the energy from your blood and pack it away into storage. And while this manager is out walking the warehouse floor, it tells your cells to absorb glucose, and it explicitly commands your fat cells to stop releasing their stored energy. Essentially, the doors are padlocked, nothing is getting out. But here's where things get tricky. Because of our modern snacking habits, this manager never actually clocks out. Think about a typical day for a second. You've got breakfast at 7 a.m., maybe a mid-morning snack, lunch, an afternoon coffee with a little treat, dinner, and then a late-night dessert. Before your insulin levels can fully return to baseline, you eat again and boom, they spike right back up. So your body spends its entire day burning exclusively the new energy you're putting into it, while your stored body fat just sits in that locked warehouse gathering dust. Over time, this creates some serious metabolic inflexibility.
Moving right along to Section 2, the internal fasting timeline. Let's look at what happens when we finally let that warehouse manager go home.
Okay, let's break this down hour by hour. In the first 2 to 3 hours after a meal, you're in peak delivery mode. Insulin is high, and your liver is frantically packing away glucose into glycogen. Glycogen is basically your body's rechargeable battery, which surprisingly can only hold about 100 grams before it completely overflows. But fast forward to about 12 hours after your last meal, and the magic really starts. Your insulin has finally dropped enough for an enzyme called hormone-sensitive lipase to activate. This physically breaks down your stored fat into fatty acids to be released into your bloodstream, a process called lipolysis. And if you push that to 14 hours, your body enters a state of deep internal cleaning.
Which brings us to Section 3, the amazing metabolic switch.
This is the exact moment your body transitions from relying on the food you just ate to the energy it's been carrying around for years. And it's like night and day. Switching from glucose dependency over to ketone energy completely eliminates that midday brain fog and turns panic-inducing hunger into this calm, stable energy. See, when your liver runs low on glycogen, it starts converting stored fat into molecules called ketones. And unlike normal fat, ketones can actually cross the blood-brain barrier. So instead of your brain dealing with the constant roller coaster of sugar spikes and crashes, it suddenly gets this highly efficient, perfectly stable wave of ketone energy. It's exactly why people who fast properly often report this sudden, almost bizarre sense of mental clarity and a total drop in emotional cravings.
Now, I hear this all the time. People are terrified they're going to lose muscle if they stop eating. But biologically, that makes absolutely no evolutionary sense. Accompanying this metabolic switch is a massive spike in protective hormones. Your body actually floods your system with growth hormone to mobilize fat while rigorously protecting your muscle tissue. It also spikes noradrenaline for razor-sharp focus, and a protein called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which literally acts like fertilizer for your brain, enhancing memory and learning. So your body isn't shutting down at all, it's sharpening up.
All right, Section 4, cellular and gut deep cleanse. Beyond just burning fat, this is where the real repair work happens.
This brings us to autophagy. It literally translates to self-eating, which, yeah, sounds like a horror movie, but your body isn't destroying itself. It's actually bringing in a highly efficient nighttime cleaning crew. When insulin stays low, a cellular pathway called mTOR just quiets down. This signals your body to stop building and start repairing. It finds damaged proteins, old mitochondria, and inflammatory debris, breaks them down, and recycles them into usable materials. It's basically like the janitorial staff finally getting full access to the building once all the busy workers have gone home for the night.
And your gut does something really similar. It has its own rhythmic sweeping brome called the migrating motor complex. This system physically sweeps through your intestines, clearing out leftover debris and bacteria. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. This sweeping action only fully activates in a fasted state. Even the tiniest snack, like a handful of nuts or a little splash of milk in your coffee, hits pause on this entire system. It's literally like throwing a wrench at the janitor. This perfectly explains why avoiding late-night snacks makes you feel so much less bloated and heavy when you wake up. Your internal broom actually had the time to do its job.
Section 5. Aging and breakfast myths. We really need to rethink some of these old narratives.
Let this sink in for a second. Those aches, the afternoon fatigue, the brain fog, that stubborn belly fat, they aren't just inevitable signs of aging. They are the result of an inflexible metabolism begging for a break. After decades of constant eating, your cells become less sensitive to insulin, so your pancreas has to pump out more and more of it just to keep up, which means your insulin baseline slowly rises year after year. It's a vicious cycle that locks those fat warehouse doors even tighter. But the amazing news from the research is that this flexibility can actually be relearned.
And then there's breakfast. We've all been told it's the most important meal of the day, right? Well, as the sources reveal, this is largely a manufactured habit pushed heavily by the 20th century cereal and processed food industries. Your morning hunger is not a biological emergency. It's honestly just a learned hormonal response. A hormone called ghrelin spikes simply because your body is used to getting food at that exact time. Research actually shows that delaying your first meal improves insulin sensitivity and gives your body the precious time it needs to finish that deep cellular cleaning.
Finally, Section 6, 3 steps to reset metabolism. Let's land the plane with a concrete action plan.
Your first magic number here is 16. This represents the continuous hours you give your body to clean and repair itself. For a lot of people, this just means finishing dinner by 8 p.m. and then having your first meal at noon the next day. It gives insulin plenty of time to drop, glycogen to deplete, and that metabolic switch to fully, completely engage.
And your second number is 8. That represents your eating window. By condensing your meals into an 8-hour window, you keep that warehouse manager off the clock for the majority of the day, allowing those protective hormones and the autophagy cleaning crews to do their absolute best work.
So here are your 3 actionable steps to regain that metabolic flexibility. Step 1, condense your time into that 16-8 rhythm. Step 2, optimize your eating window with plenty of protein. This is absolutely crucial because while fasting spikes growth hormone, you still need dietary protein during your eating window to provide the raw materials to protect and maintain your muscle. And step 3, supplement this routine with a light 20-minute walk right before breaking your fast. This mildly depletes glycogen and massively boosts insulin sensitivity, ensuring the food you're about to eat is shuttled directly into your muscles rather than right back into fat storage.
Now, full disclosure, the first week of adjusting to this rhythm might feel a bit uncomfortable, as your ghrelin hormone protests. But your biology is incredibly intelligent and adaptable. Once it remembers how to access its own stored energy, the brain fog lifts, the energy stabilizes, and that constant obsession with your next meal, it just fades away. Your body isn't broken. It already has all the built-in systems for fat burning, cellular repair, and mental clarity. It literally just needs the space to use them. So the only question left is, are you ready to give your body a break and flip your metabolic switch today?